What was the main aim of your project and who were the partners?
So the project title was Building Grassroots Engagement with Climate Change. And so that really, in a sense, was the project goal. The goal for me was to take the findings from a previous research project called the Climate Crunch and share those and debate those with sort of audience of NGOs, climate campaigners, etc. And also for myself as an individual to be more, raise my profile amongst relevant networks, etc. And then for my partner organisation, the Fleming Policy Centre, they've been working on a particular policy programme or framework, and so we used that as the lens through which to explore these questions. So for them it was the chance to bring those ideas to new audiences and debate the viability of the project and the policy ideas that they've been working on.
Right. What were the main knowledge exchange successes and how did you judge success?
So I think there's I think between myself and the Fleming Policy Centre, that's been very useful because people are coming from different sets of backgrounds, and so to develop a coherent message and framework to take to a series of workshops has been really useful, a very strong knowledge exchange process. Then also debating those ideas at the workshops with delegates has been, I think, a real success. The way people have engaged with what we've been doing, the desire to keep in touch and understand what the results are and how they might be taken forward.
Thank you. What difficulties did you encounter and how did you deal with them?
I guess one of the difficulties I encountered was that it became more of a leadership role for me than a partnership, and I felt that I've had to drive a lot of that forward. So I guess the way I've coped with that is just as much as possible communication. So these are the tasks we've got coming up, who can do this, trying to build in as much lead time on delivery of those tasks. Because again, this is a network, this Fleming Policy Centre is a network of actors who've got other jobs, etc. So trying to juggle and find the time and ensure that they've been committed to the project throughout the period of the year that it's run, and sort of have contributed in the way that's made, having planned to do certain things, require a certain amount of hours to make those happen, to ensure that they're on board and understand the work involved and able to do that.
Has your understanding of knowledge exchange changed between the proposal for this knowledge exchange project and now?
It has, in a way. I anticipated that knowledge exchange would be a formal activity, a bounded activity that would be different from other ways of engaging with audiences and other parties. In a sense, sometimes it's, I guess I haven't always been clear, it hasn't always been apparent to me that what we're doing here is knowledge exchange, is something different from debating research findings and going out and running workshops. So it's not always certain, it's not as distinct a practice as I thought it might have been.
And what advice would you give someone who's about to embark on a knowledge exchange project?
So I would, first of all, identify your stakeholders, understand what the current knowledge is and where the gaps in the knowledge are. Whoever you're working with, ensure good communication at all time, upfront planning to ensure that your partners, whoever is engaged in that process with you, understands what's involved, and also just be flexible because life doesn't stay the same. People may come in and out of that partnership, as I've found, so you need to be able to adapt and respond to those changes. It's not necessarily the case that the way people you start with at the beginning of the year that people are going to end up with at the end of the year. So just be flexible.
Right. Thank you. Thanks.